People keep asking the question, which one is better, GPT or Claude? I don't think that that's the right question. I think both have a place, both are great, and I'm going to show how I'm using both of them. Actually, I'm using three models constantly, and I'll let you know which the third one is. First off, I think both of them are very capable. I just think that one is better suited for one type of task and the other one for a different type of task. I'll start with Claude. Claude, I prefer whenever I'm doing any writing. And whenever I start a blog post or I'm going to script something or I'm going to write my newsletter, I always draft first with Claude and I ask Claude to review my writing as well. I think Claude is great at writing, better than GPT for sure. The second thing that I do use Claude for is for designing. As much as I like GPT, I do think that its design capabilities are very basic, very limited. It has a single type of design every single time, and I just don't appreciate it. I have used Claude, for instance, to design this application here, which I'm working on, and my own personal website, among other small things. But I always think that Claude is way more creative and different on what it proposes. And honestly, truthfully, better at it. ChatGPT, or just GPT, on the other hand, is my daily driver for anything else. So I run my life through GPT, but I also use GPT and specifically Codex to write code. I've been learning and going through how to customize Codex and tailor it to my usage. I know you can do that with Claude Code for sure. I just think that I started using GPT because it was cheaper than Claude for sure. That's one thing. I was burning my credits on Claude very quickly. With GPT, you do go through those credits more slowly, and that was when I started using GPT. But since GPT Codex 5.2, I noticed, and I've been using that mainly since 5.2, I noticed that it is more consistent. It is more reliable, and it follows the instructions more to the letter, which can be good and bad depending on how you set up your instructions. So just the other day, I asked Codex to work on a GitHub issue. And to my surprise, it did something different than I was expecting it to do. And when I look at the issue, sure, it was written precisely what Codex has just outputted. I was the one that forgot to add some more instructions to that issue, and I assumed that I had done that. But my point to this is exactly what was written in the issue is what was outputted by Codex, which is great, right? It follows instructions. So my takeaway from this is, and I don't have any empirical data to prove this, it's just my subjective perception of those two models, is that Claude feels more creative and GPT feels more predictable. And I use both in this way. Whenever I need some inspiration or creative work, I reach out to Claude. And whenever I need code to be written or something that doesn't require much of creativity, I rely on ChatGPT. And that has worked great for me. And I mentioned a third model that I used, and that third one is Kimi K2.5. And I use it as my daily code reviewer. So I have it set up. Here's a quick example here. Let me just go through this. So issues found here, right? This is a code review summary. And I have a GitHub workflow set up here to use Kimi K2.5 with open code to review this, any PR or any PR changes that I make. So my 3 daily drivers, and I think this is good. I know we could set up Codex to do that, or even Claude Code to do that. I just prefer to have a model that's not gonna break the bank. So that's why I'm not using Claude Code to review GPT's code. I could, but it's just too expensive for what I wanna do. And Kimi K2.5 is one, very, very cheap, and two, very, very good at finding issues. And I just prefer having a different model other than GPT to review its own code. And that's pretty much it. That's how I've been using those three models, I should say. Let me know if you want to know how I'm using Kimi K2.5 to review my code, or if you want to see how I am orchestrating my development process with ChatGPT. Thanks. See you on the next one.